What I mean is, do not commit sins or offenses against God with your hands, such as violence. Such as violence. We talked about an angry man last week. Violence. You should not use these hands to backhand the people you love, to punch the people that you love. In fact, you shouldn't punch or backhand anyone. I know it got quiet in here. That's okay. It's still a good word. Violent hands cannot come into the presence of God. I think that's why the Bible says, if your hand causes you to sin, cut it off. Why? You can't come before God with those hands. You're better off coming there with no hands. But violent hands. Now, I'm not talking about, when we discipline our children, but even then, don't discipline your children violently. Don't discipline your children violently. Do not strike them out of anger. Do not strike them out of anger. Do not strike them out of frustration. Do not strike them out of your inability to correct them. God, please have mercy on me. Yeah, like you do on your kids? Hands that commit violence cannot come into the presence of God. If you're the kind of person just likes to throw blows, know this. Your hands are going to take you to hell, and you'll be able to fight everybody there. Your hands can commit violence. Your hands can commit idolatry. Your hands can commit idolatry. You sit there holding in your hand that which you serve. The king of beers.
Good word.
How does it become an idol? I can't put it down. It's got Velcro. It's stuck to my hand. If you can't put it down, it's there and it's before God. There's a lot of things people can't put down. They hold in their hands. Hands can commit sin. Hands can steal. Hands can commit theft. Somebody said, well, I don't steal, so Dad don't talk to me. Oh yeah, the other day when you were at the store and you got back more change than you should have. The other day when you were at the store and that poor girl behind the register accidentally gave you back more money than she should have. And you know that they did, and you didn't take it back, you just stole it. That's happened to me 2 or 3 times in the time that I can remember recently, where somebody gave me change more than they should have. In fact, it just happened 2 Wednesdays ago at Yosemite Falls Cafe. What happened was the bill was $54. It was $9.99 with taxes. It was like $10.20 per guy. So each one of us had to pay like $10.20 plus a tip. It was going to be $15 each one of us. I gave the lady a 20. And she gave me back a 5, because we were going to give 15 with the tip and everything. And then Pastor Mark gave her 20, and he got back a 5. So then she looks at it, and Pastor Ricardo had already given her 15. He had the exact amount. So Israel's ready to pay, and she tells Israel that'll be $5. She had the 20s in her hand. My 20, Ricardo's 20, and his 15. So she thought she had in her hand, $55. So she wanted the $5 from little Israel. And Israel, he had his little card out. He was going to give her the $5. She was going to be $10 short. Why? Because she was forgetting that she gave us back 5 each. Now I looked at the pastors and I was wondering which one of them, especially the one that's about to pay, should have said, none of them said anything. They were like, look what the Lord has done. They were saying, the Lord blessed me. I received a blessing today. God does not have to rip other people off to bless you and me. God doesn't have to do that. I told the lady, man, and she goes, hold on, I'm trying to figure it out. The manager, everybody comes up, there are like 3 people standing there, and I'm trying to explain. I finally just interrupted, I said, you gave us each back 5. She goes, oh yeah. But that was just 2 Wednesdays ago. And I would not have been able to live with myself if I'm left there knowing that we did not pay what we should have paid. But yet there are Christians all over America today that will get back a little bit extra and say, mira, the Lord is good. No, hands that steal cannot come into the presence of the holy God. Hands that take what's not theirs cannot come into the presence of a holy God. How about hands that are idle? How about hands that are idle? What does the Bible say about idle hands? They are whose plaything? A devil's plaything. So you guys can just be sitting at home, have your hands on the couch and say, look, I'm not doing nothing, I'm not doing nothing wrong, I'm just sitting here minding my own business. Guess what? If you're just sitting there doing nothing all the time, you have idle hands. That's a devil's plaything. You need to be busy honoring God and living for God. You know what? I cannot tell you that being lazy is a sin. Slothfulness is. But being lazy, you know, I know sometimes you're tired. I know that you work 8 hours and you just want to enjoy a Saturday off. Okay, that's one thing. But when you spend 4 or 5 hours a day stuck on the couch, those are idle hands. Those are idle hands. If you ain't got enough to do at home, call me. There's stuff to do here at the house of God. Call me. You must have holy hands. Second, he said you must have a pure heart. To receive from God, you must have a pure heart. To receive the honor of an audience with the Creator, the most powerful being, the most powerful God, the only God, you must have a pure heart. Your motives must be pure. The Bible says that we should not hold on to malice in our heart. We should not hold on to anger towards others in our heart. We should not hold on to jealousy in our heart. We should not hold on to bitterness in our heart. We should not hold on to revenge in our heart. It sounds like we need to have a pure heart, washed as white as snow, and soft before God, ready to be used by God. There are people who have hate in their heart. If you have hate in your heart for anyone, then you don't have the right to go into the holy presence of the holy God. Hate will disqualify you. Racism. If you don't like people that don't look like you, if you're a racist and you don't like African Americans, or you don't like Asian people, or you don't like Hispanic people, or you don't like Anglo people, guess what? That's a problem with your heart. Don't expect God to receive you in the Holy of Holies. Sometimes people's prayers aren't answered because their heart is not right. It's not pure. You need to have a soft heart for everyone. Brother Ray shows up at my house on Tuesday. And he brought some stuff for show and tell. He showed me this picture from 1936, the Hispanic Chambers of Commerce. I think it was an awesome picture, 1930s, 1940s. And then Ray showed me a genuine certificate of the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. And it has on there, it says this is to certify that so-and-so has a person's name, has passed and is now qualified to be a Knight of the Ku Klux Klan. It's a certificate like we would get for baptism. It has signed this day by the head dragon or great dragon, what is it? The Grand Dragon. How do you know, sister, it's Grand Dragon? I don't know about you, sister. Just corrected me. And then you're the only Anglo sister in your name. All right, check her at the door next time. So it's signed by the Grand Dragon people. It's signed there, right? It says Grand Dragon, then it has another signature, and then the president of this chapter. It's dated 1991. Here in Fresno, Clovis, 1991. I was wondering what was up with all the gun racks over there north of Shaw, the northeast part of town. 1991. The Knights of the Ku Klux Klan taking in members in our little town here. I was freaked out. I was like, man. Because how many of you saw the movie A Time to Kill?
Man.
With Samuel Jackson and one of my favorite actors now, Matthew McConaughey. Yeah. Remember when the Ku Klux Klan was fighting with the African Americans, and some of you got mad. You were like, man, I wish I was there, man. I'd bust up some. You don't got to go to the South. They're here. They're here. 1991, they were here. But guess what? You can't hate them. You can't hate them. Now some of you are sitting here, what do you mean I can't hate them? Pastor, they're racist. I'm telling you, if you hate them, you're just as racist as they are.